Hello everyone, it's Dark Gray, back again after a little bit of a hiatus to bring you a deck profile and combo tutorial I'm crazy excited about. Today's video will be showcasing my personal take on a one-card Skip Turn Megalith deck profile with a backup combo which still allows you to end on an S0 Utopic Zexal. I am super proud of this build and I think it exemplifies Megalith's viability even with Black Dragon being banned on the most recent Forbidden and Limited list. Now, what some of you may have seen and what originally inspired this combo and deck profile was an announcement on Team Bortle's channel that Stephen Bronder had created a skip turn combo with Megaliths that would be showcased on the channel, which I will actually link in the description box below if you want to go ahead and watch their video. As somebody who had recently become obsessed with Megaliths, I tried to theorycraft ways in which Stephen Bronder may have created a skip turn combo, and in doing so found the combo you will see today. But instead of abusing Curious Griffin, which will take up some more of our resources, I found that by abusing the Deskbot 003 into an Auroradon combo worked much better in my personal taste. Now, there's a lot to go through, so we're going to try to go pretty fast, so let's go ahead and jump on into the monsters. Alrighty, starting with the monsters, one thing you're going to have to keep in mind is the level 4 and level 8 Megalith monsters have two somewhat similar effects. Now, there isn't really a true ritual spell for the archetype. Instead, what you're going to find is the level 4 Megalith monsters can ritual summon monsters by attributing themselves and any other monsters that you may need to ritual summon from the hand. So these are their face-up effects, whereas our level 8 Megalith monsters are going to act as ritual spell cards in the hand, where they themselves do not count as the ritual fodder. However, they do act as the ritual spell card like I stated. Now, here we play 3 Megalith Ophiel. Ophiel on summon is going to be able to search any of your Megalith ritual monsters from your deck to your hand. And then we play 3 Megalith Haggith. Now, Haggith is the counterpart to Ophiel. He is going to be able to search any of our Megalith ritual spell or trap cards from the deck to our hand. Then, as we were stating before, going into 2 Megalith Eritron. So Megalith Eritron, like all of the other level 8s, acts as a ritual spell card in the hand. However, his effect allows him to be a quick play ritual spell card in the hand, which is huge going into some of the combos that we'll talk about later. He also has a targeting protection effect when he is on the field, where you can place 1 ritual monster from your graveyard to the bottom of the deck, and if you do, negate that activation, and then destroy it. Now, that doesn't come nearly as often, but if you ever find yourself in a pinch, it can be helpful. Then we also play 2 Megalith Bethor. Now, I love Megalith Bethor because when he is ritual summoned, you can target cards your opponent controls up to the number of ritual monsters with different names in your graveyard and destroy them. Again, it doesn't need to be specifically Megalith monsters in your graveyard, it is just any differently named ritual monster. Then finally, for the level 8s, we play 1 Megalith Phaleg, which basically goes ahead and boosts all of your monsters. Again, it's not just ritual or Megalith monsters, but it boosts all of your monsters by 300 attack and defense for each ritual monster in your graveyard. So unlike Bethor, where it needs to be differently named, it is just any number of ritual monsters in the graveyard. It is huge for going ahead and pushing for OTKs and the like. Then finally, for Megalith monsters, we have our 3 Megalith Full. Now, Full is a new release from the Rise of the Duelists, and it completely revolutionizes the deck. Megalith Full, you'll notice, is a level 2, which actually is pretty handy as we get into things later. But when it is ritual summoned, you can target a ritual monster in the graveyard and add it to your hand. And then when it's added to the hand, its level becomes the level of the ritual monster you added. So more than often, it's going to become a level 4 or level 8 as you add back other Megalith monsters. And then his other effect is it is a quick effect during the main phase. You can activate this effect, ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster from your hand or deck, tributing monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal or exceed the level of that ritual monster. So this is absolutely insane. You can see things already like how he is able to ritual summon Megalith Bethor on your opponent's turn to go ahead and wipe the field. It is also an automatic rank 4 or rank 8 Xyz monster just through the sheer act of being able to add back any of our Megalith level 4 or 8s and itself becoming that level. So Absolutely amazing monster. Now jumping into some of the engines that we play in the deck, we have our 3 Incantation Chalice Slime, and its effect basically just lets us discard a card to special summon out any of our incantations from the deck. And then for our incantations here, we play, again, just a small package of 1 Incantation Candle, 1 Incantation Talismandra, and I just threw in the 1 Incantation Inception here. Now what we were talking about before, this is the biggest part of the engines or the deck. Really, this is what enables us to skip our opponent's turn. We have 3 Deskbot 003 and the 2 Deskbot 001. Now Deskbot 003 will allow you to special summon out a Deskbot 001, going to Hulk Vibrax, going to Auroradon, and just start your combos from there. Absolutely amazing. The 3-2 ratio, obviously you need to run the 2 001. However, even if you draw into a 001, it's actually pretty useful because you can just use that to make your Hulk anyways, and it goes full combo from there. Then since we're running Auroradon for the package, we have our 1 Mecha Phantom Beast Colt Wing. And then for the times that we don't open our 003 for a full combo, we can search out with our Gallic Granite Later and Adamancipator Researcher. This is an absolutely amazing part of the deck. This is what enables us to go into our backup play of summoning out an S0 Utopic Zexal, which basically still means that we are skipping our opponent's turn. Researcher is a great extender. It gets us to our Hulk, gets us to our Auroradon, full combo. Still such an amazing card, even with Black Dragon being banned. And then for the last monster, we have the Piece de Resistance, the Amor Factor Pain, the Imagination Draco Overlord. Now you may recognize this from Stephen Bronder's video on Team Bortle's channel, but basically the most important part of him is when he is ritual summoned, he is going to allow you to skip the main phase 1 of your opponent's turn. Beyond that, he's also a floodgate that negates the effects of face-up fusion, synchro, and Xyz monsters while they are on the field. And then also if he's sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add 1 Draco Overlord monster from your deck to your hand except Amor Factor Pain, the Imagination Draco Overlord. Now we don't play any other cards, so that'll never go off, but acting as a pretty strong floodgate, can be strong in some matchups, but that skip turn is really what we are looking at and is going to make everything function. On to the spell cards and the rest of the deck that we play, we have our 1 Megalith Portal. Now this is great because the first time each ritual summon monster would be destroyed by battle, it is not destroyed, so that's great protection, especially for all of our Megalith monsters. Really big booties, so sometimes they're hard to get rid of in a simplified game state. But the most important part of this is if a Megalith monster is special summoned, you can target 1 ritual monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand. Then the next insane card in the deck is going to be Megalith Unformed. Now, this is kind of a strange ritual spell card because it is not a ritual spell card. It is a quick play spell card that basically allows you to ritual summon 1 Megalith ritual monster from the deck in defense position by tributing monsters from your hand or field whose levels equal exactly twice the level of that monster. So that's where having those level 8s, level 4s, level 2s really comes into play. And then it also has an alternative effect where when you activate it, all monsters your opponent controls lose 500 attack for each ritual monster on the field until the end of this turn. Now that rarely comes up, but still a nice thing to keep in mind, especially since this can have some damage step shenanigans onto it. And basically another staple for this is going to be 3 Preparation of Rites. Basically everything that you want to search in the deck is level 7 or lower. Then because we are in a meta that has just such crazy first turn boards that we have to get through and some pretty strong floodgates, I like to main deck 3 Dark Ruler No More for the times where we end up having to go second in game 1. And then also I have a single Cosmic Cyclone for some of those matchups, again, where you end up going second game 1 and you just need to get rid of a floodgate or anything like that. Now, ideally, this would be a Harpy's Feather Duster. However, I do not currently own one, so we just have the Cosmic Cyclone sitting in here. If you wanted to replace these, you could very easily put in a triple tactics talent and a single Called by the Grave, because that can kind of help your combo go through. And triple tactics is great going first or second. I just really like what Dark Ruler No More can add. for the deck. Then for the absolutely final card in the deck, we play one Terminal World. Now again, this with Pain is what allows us to skip our opponent's turn. Activate only during the main phase 1. While this card's on the field, both players skip their main phase 2. Now in the Team Bortle Bronder video, you're going to notice that they play Thunder of Ruler. Now the reason I like Terminal World more is because it is a continuous spell card which allows us to basically loop Pain and continually skip our opponent's turn if we needed to. Now you may think that it's a little bit weaker because Thunder of Ruler is a trap card. However, it needs to be specifically activated in your opponent's standby phase, so there is still a period of time in the draw phase where your opponent could remove it with any spell or trap card removal. So Terminal World really isn't any weaker than Thunder of Ruler. If they know the matchup, they know to hit this card. Now basically what's going to happen is your opponent can go to the draw phase, standby phase, and then they either have to enter the battle phase or they have to end their turn. And that's basically the pseudo FTK right there. You're just going to skip your entire opponent's turn. Say they even open up a evenly matched, you just simply keep the Terminal World on board and they still have to skip, and then you have enough resources built off from the combo that you can go ahead and OTK them anyways. Now that's going to wrap up the main board. Let's go ahead and see the extra deck. Going on to the extra deck, we have one Crystron Helcafibrax, one Barricade Board Blocker, and one Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Now Helcafibrax and Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon are pretty self-explanatory for the Deskbot 003 combo. However, I chose to put in Barricade Board Blocker for those scenarios where your Helcafibrax gets negated. You still need something to go into Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon, and it is the easiest machine monster to go into. And even with a single Deskbot 001, say they didn't negate your 003, but they negated the Helc, you can still go into pretty much full combo. Again, we talked about a backup play going into S0 Utopic Zexal. Barricade Board Blocker allows you to do that. And in situations where you draw into a 001, or even both, it allows you to discard one, and so that is full combo still right there. Then continuing the Auroradon Deskbot combos, we have our triple Herald of the Arclight. Now this is absolutely amazing for the deck. Ritual based decks really can take full advantage of Herald of the Arclight. It's an Omni Negate, Macrocosmos, and it is a Rota for any ritual monster or spell card. It is absolutely amazing for the deck. Then for our fourth Synchro 4, we have one Crystron Quandax, and we also have our Borreload Savage Dragon. Now Crystron Quandax is great because it is a tuner level 4, which allows us to go into our Borreload Savage Dragon here. Then one of the most important cards in the deck, we have our one Gallic Granite. Now this is what allows us to continue any of our backup or follow-up plays by searching out any rock type monster in our deck, which is basically everything. Just absolutely amazing. And then again, speaking of that S0 backup play, we have our 3 number monsters here. We have a number 60, Dugar's the Timeless, amazing for its draw effect, for its revival effect, even if you needed to use the double attack effect at all, just an amazing addition. We also have our number 106, Giant Hand is again just another great rank 4 Xyz, along with number 41, Baguska the Terribly Tired Taper. These are what will allow you to basically hard summon a S0 Utopic Zexal. Again, if you're not skipping your opponent's turn with a Pain in a Terminal World on board, just do a Zexal and you still have the backup and follow-up from a Megalith full, say, in hand with a Bethor to wipe the entire field. It is absolutely amazing. But for the full skip turn pseudo FTK, we have our Primathmech Alimbertion. Now you may remember some hype on release for this guy, specifically because of an effect where if you detach 4 materials from this card, you can add any one spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. So this is how we are ideally going to search out our Terminal World through our Auroradon and Deskbot combo, which I will show to you in just a moment. And the very last card in the extra deck is one Dingirsu, the Orchist of the Evening Star. Again, since Megalith Full is an automatic rank 4 or rank 8, I chose Dingirsu because he just seemed like the best option. You could play things like Hope Harbinger for a spell negate, or the rank 8 Xyz Felgrand for a monster negate. I figured it would be the best 15th card for us in the extra deck. Alrighty everybody, it's time for what you've all been waiting for, the combo section. So there's a lot to get through, so we're going to try to go really fast. So feel free to slow down the video if you need to. Now, like I said, this is a one card skip turn combo. So using the single Deskbot 003, I'm going to show you how we're going to skip our opponent's turn. So we're going to go ahead, summon out the Deskbot 003, which its effect will summon out the 001, then use both of these to go ahead and go into our Crystron Helcafibrax. Now Helcafibrax effect, we'll go ahead and special summon our other Deskbot 001, and then using both of these, we are going to go into our Mecha Phantom Beast Auroradon. Now Auroradon's effect will activate, which will allow us to special summon 3 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens onto the field. And then both of those tokens, or both of the Deskbot 001s I should say, are going to trigger because of those tokens. Now special summoning them out, we're going to use one of these tokens and the Deskbot 001 go into a Herald of the Arclight. And same thing with the other Deskbot and one of the other tokens, make a second Herald. Now we're going to overlay these two Heralds and we're going to Xyz summon our Gallic Granite. Now Gallic Granite is going to detach 1 to go ahead and activate its effect to search out a Megalith Ophiel from our deck to our hand. So we'll just put that right here for right now. And then the Herald of the Arclight that we detach is going to go ahead and activate to add an Incantation Chalice Slime from our deck to our hand. Now using Auroradon's other effect, we're going to tribute both of these to go ahead and special summon out a Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing from our deck. Then our second Herald from the graveyard that was underneath our Gallic Granite is going to go ahead and grab a second Incantation Chalice Slime. Now the reason we grab another one of these is because we need some discard fodder and we are going to have to banish whatever we have because we'll have a Herald on field, so might as well banish a second Chalice Slime. Won't do us any good later. Now chaining that Herald effect with the Coltwing effect is going to go off, special summoning 2 Mecha Phantom Beast Coltwing tokens, which will then trigger our 2 Despots in grave again. Then using one of these tokens and one of the Despots, we'll go into our third Herald. And with the other one, we are going to go into our Crystron Quandax. Now you see that we already have 3 level 4 monsters on board. This is great, we're so close. We'll use the effect of one of the Chalice Slimes, discard the other one. Since Herald's on board, it'll get banished. We're going to go ahead and summon out a Incantation Candle, which will add an Incantation Inception from deck to hand. Then, using the Inception, we'll tribute off our Candle and summon out our Ophiel. Now, Ophiel's effect will activate, which will add a Megalith Haggith from our deck to our hand. Now, we're not able to loop our Incantation Inception because we have to send the Chalice Slime to the grave. And with our Herald on board, we may as well right here, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like the perfect time for us to Xyz summon our Primathmech Alimbertian. Now, on summon, he is going to activate, detach our 1, 2, 3, 4 materials, and search out, ooh, yes, that beautiful Terminal World from our deck to our hand. Now, the Herald that was detached is going to go ahead and trigger here. And we may as well search out the other piece of the puzzle, the Amorphactor Pain. Now, since that Herald is off the field, we're going to go ahead and use the Incantation Inception effect, add it back to hand by sending the Chalice Slime. And in doing so, we're going to be able to summon out our Talismandra. Now, Talismandra's effect will go ahead and add an Aeritron from our deck to our hand, which we'll see why that's important later. Now, using the Inception to tribute off the Talismandra, we'll go ahead and summon out our Haggith. Haggith effect will activate, add our Informed from our deck to our hand. And then from right here, we're going to actually go ahead and just activate that Informed right now, tribute off the Haggith, which will then summon out Megalith Full. Now, full effect will trigger when it is summoned to add back the Haggith to become level 4, and then we're going to instantly tribute off the Haggith we added to summon out a Megalith Ophiel. Now Ophiel's effect will trigger, and we're going to add another Megalith full from our deck to our hand. Now right here we can see that we've got 4 cards left in our hand. We're going to use Ophiel's effect on field to tribute both itself and the full, since they're both level 4s, to ritual summon out our level 8 Amorphactor Pain. And then you go ahead and activate Terminal World, and right there, that's it. Our opponent's entire turn is skipped, and if that wasn't bad enough, we have a Aeratron and Megalith full in hand. So on our opponent's turn, or when we wrap back around, we are able to summon out a full. We can basically go off from there. We're able to summon out a Phaleg, boost all of our monsters to OTK. If anything were to happen somehow to Terminal World, we still have access to Bethor through full to wipe our entire opponent's field. And let's just take a second to look in terms of differently named ritual monsters. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then when you include the Aeratron that we're going to have to send to the grave if we wanted to activate Full's effect, you're able to pop 5 cards on your opponent's field. Or again, just boost with Phaleg and OTK. All in all, I think this is a great combo. Again, beyond this, you would still have 4 other cards in hand, which is absolutely insane to me. So this entire combo off 1 card skips your entire opponent's turn. You have a floodgate on the field. You have 6 cards in hand, and you're able to pop your entire opponent's field. I don't know about you guys, but seems pretty crazy to me. I absolutely love this deck, love this combo. Let's go ahead and quickly roll into our backup combo in Utopic Zexal. Alrighty, now time for our backup Zexal plan for when we don't open Deskbot 003. Basically, you just need any way to access our Gallic Granite. Now, in this combo, I'm just going to show a 2-card combo using Megalith Haggith and Megalith Unformed. So let's get right into it. We're going to instantly use Unformed to tribute off the Haggith, which will then summon out our Megalith Full. Now, Full's effect will go ahead and add the Haggith back to our hand, which we're immediately going to tribute off to summon out a Megalith Ophiel. Ophiel's effect will activate to add a Haggith to our hand. Now we're going to go ahead and overlay these 2 because again Full becomes a level 4 when it adds back the Haggith into our Gallic Granite. Now Gallic Granite is going to detach to add our one of Adamancipator Researcher. Now we'll use her effect to special summon her onto the field since we control a rock type monster. And then using these 2, we are going to go into our Crystron Halqifibrax. Now, Halqifibrax effect is going to go ahead and summon out our Lonely Despot 001. And then using these 2, we are going to go into our Mechafanabeast Auroradon. Now, Auroradon's effect will activate, which will allow us to summon out 3 Mechafanabeast tokens. And that will trigger our 1 Despot 001 in the graveyard. Now using one of these tokens and our Despot 001, we are going to summon out our Herald of the Arclight. Then using the second effect of Mechafanabeast Auroradon, we're going to tribute off the 2 tokens and summon out our Mechafanabeast Cultwing. Cultwing's effect will activate, summoning out 2 tokens, and again triggering our Despot 001. 001 and another token will make our second Herald of the Arclight. And then using both of these heralds, we're going to overlay these 2 into our number 60 Dugares the Timeless. Now, using Dugares' effect to detach 2, we are going to target our 001 in the graveyard and special it back out. Now, it's important to remember when you use number 60's revival effect, you skip your next main phase 1. Now, we're going to be making Zexal and skipping our opponent's turn anyways to OTK, so it won't matter too much, but it is an important thing to remember. We are also going to go ahead and trigger both of our Herald searches now since they detached. And just like last time, add 1 and 2 Chalice Slimes because we just need another card for fodder. Now, using the Deskbot for the last time and the 1 token, I'm going to summon out another and our last Herald of the Arclight. And using these 2, we're going to bring out our number 106 Giant Hand. Now, using the Chalice Slime effect to discard 1, we're going to special out the incantation Candle to add the Inception to our hand. Then, using the Inception to tribute off the Candle, we will summon out our Hagith. Hagith's effect will activate to allow us to add an Unformed from our deck to our hand. Now, here we're going to use the Incantation effect in Grave to send our Chalice Slime to the grave, add it back to our hand, and this will then special summon out a Talismandra. And then Talismandra effect will go ahead and search our Megalith Ophiel, which we will then use Inception, tribute off Talismandra, summon out Ophiel, and then Ophiel's effect will grab the Aeratron from our deck to our hand. Now this is probably as good of a time as any now that we have 2 level 4s on field. We will bring out our number 41, Baguska, the Terribly Tired Taper. And now, as you see, we have 3 number monsters on our field. And so we are going to overlay all of them and bring out our S0 Utopic Zexal. So again, an amazing backup play for when we don't open our 003, but we are not quite done yet because we sent a Herald when we detached the materials of those Xyz monsters. We are going to go ahead and search out our Megalith Full. And continuing from there, we're going to use our Unformed to send an Aeratron, which will then special summon out an Ophiel. Ophiel's effect will activate, and we'll add another Aeratron. And there you have it, guys. That is our backup number S0 Utopic Zexal play, which just off of 2 cards, we end with 2 cards in hand, an Ophiel on field, a Zexal on board, and our Mecha Panda Beast Auroradon. Now, something to keep in mind, because our main phase 1 is being skipped, you could risk it and put our Utopic Zexal in attack mode, because again, their turn's more than likely getting skipped anyways, and as backup, we can use our Aeratron to go ahead and tribute off our Ophiel to summon out our Full, which by itself can add back the Aeratron, summon out a Bethor, wipe our entire opponent's field. That's 4 to 5 cards being popped. So that's their entire board if they try to set everything. Or we can just summon out our Phalanx and boost everything and then just swing face. And that's OTK. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this 1-card Skip Turn Megalith deck profile / backup with the S0 Utopic Zexal to basically skip our opponent's turn anyways. Megaliths are super underrated. I wish they got a little bit more love. Let me know, guys, what you think in the comment section below. Like, share with a friend, kind of spread the love, because this is really, really underrated. And yeah, have fun with it. Thanks. Peace.